I want to take you straight to this FDNY press conference after a crane collapsed on a high-rise building in New York. Let's listen together.
But presently, we have a fifth alarm assignment, over 200 firefighters and EMS personnel at the scene. Well, let me turn it over to the Department of Buildings for their assessment.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Jimmy Otto, Commissioner, Department of Buildings. As the Mayor and the Chief said, we're really fortunate this morning. But this is not a mayor who relies on luck, so it's my job and our agency's job to find out exactly what happened here. This is quick moving, don't have a lot of answers or all the answers. We will get them to you in time. We have a building under construction. It's intended to be a 54-story mixed-use building. The general contractor is Monadnock Construction. All permits for the building, for the crane operation were pulled, operating per those permits. There was a prior unrelated incident early at the site with this contractor. When they do an excavation, they hit a Con Ed vault, but there are no other incidents at this site. There are lots of people who are part of the crane operation. There's an engineer that writes up the plans. There's essentially a general contractor. There's the user. We will be looking at all of those folks. And what we intend to do, similar to post the Ann Street garage situation, we are putting in place contracts so that we will have an independent assessment as well. So the folks who are involved in the crane operation, the general contractor of the project, we're looking at all, as I'm sure you will be, we're looking at all of their histories to see what those stories are.
Open to any questions?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor,
just bring the thing back to the time.
Mr. Mayor, was somebody operating the pad and what ignited the pad?
The crane operator was operating the crane at that point and was lifting 16 tons of concrete. And that crane operator saw that the fire started and tried to extinguish it. So we give a lot of credit to the crane operator, but the fire overwhelmed that operator and had to exit the crane.
And he was able to get out? Was he safe?
The crane operator was able to get out and is safe.
How did the fire
We're extinguishing it with hose lines. We stretched with hand extinguishers.
Yeah, the second building. So our DOB structural engineers were en route before we started. They're probably here. We will look at the structural integrity of the building that was hit. We'll look at the structural integrity, obviously, of the building that was worked on. We have a specific cranes and derricks unit. All of the DOB personnel is here or en route, and when they have a chance to assess it, we will have more answers for you.
This is a crane from, it looks like it's a crane from Loma, a second crane collapse from Loma. The first one in 2008, deadly. Another crane collapse from the same operator.
Well, again, as I said earlier, there's the engineer. We have who the engineer is. That's Steve Valhado Engineering. You have the crane user, which is Cross Country, and the crane owner, which is New York City Crane and Equipment. And again, give us some time. We will be looking at all of the parties, their records, and we will get you more information, more specifics as quickly as possible.
How did that engine ignite? Like, what happened? How was that possible?
Part of the review to determine exactly what happened. Once we get up there, once we're able to look at it and do an analysis, we can find out exactly what's happened. It's all preliminary. We have the address, Jimmy. The address.
What happened to the building that it hit? So tell us the address of the story.
It's 550 10th Avenue, and I believe 555 10th Avenue is the building that was hit.
Can you tell us, were there any construction workers inside the building? Were they working at the time? Was anybody injured? Did they all have to evacuate? How were they doing?
You know, if any,
The injuries were all minor to 4 civilians, which included some of the workers. So they were very fortunate.
So none inside, none of the construction workers inside the building?
As we know, as of now, from they were on the outside when the debris fell.
Fire chiefs about the operation.
Talk about the arm that fell off. Like, what happened there? How did it disengage from the cab and what did it hit?
So I'd like you to picture what was taking place. The crane operates above the roof line. And on that above the roof line, there's a beam that goes out. And that's carrying the weight of concrete and that weight of 16 tons is attached by a cable. And as the fire heats the cable weakens to a point where it loses its strength, and that's where the collapse occurred.
Can you tell us about the getting water on it with the lava line?
The difficulty when you have a fire so high up is to be able to supply water to the building, stretch hose lines from inside the building and across the street. And that takes manpower or firefighters, but also that we're able to search the surrounding buildings and evacuate it. And that's why it's a fifth alarm.
And so attached to the boom, matter of fact, attached to the boom was holding concrete. That's when you see this all over the street. Because in addition to the boom, you had something that was holding a substantial number of concrete that it was moving around that was made up of these stones. So why we're so lucky is not only the boom falling to the street, but all of that concrete could have struck civilians, and this has spread out throughout the area here. So we were extremely lucky this morning. But getting this right, as the commissioner stated, is not about luck. It's about making sure that people who are above our skyline are doing it correctly, and it appears as though at this time all the documentations were in order.
So, Mayor, all the debris were all on the ground. The firefighters and civilians were all on the street.
That's what it appears now.
And what were they injured by? Was it debris or?
We'll find out. The investigation will determine that.
Thanks, folks.
All right.
All right, we've just been watching together this press conference from city officials here in New York and from the fire department. A few things we have learned after this crane collapse this morning from this press conference. We heard from Mayor Eric Adams there, of course. A few things we learned: that more than 200 firefighters and EMS personnel on scene. This is a quite large scene. We know that 5 people were hurt. Officials there saying that those were minor injuries. The crane that apparently set all of this off was apparently holding and carrying 16 tons of concrete. So I want to now bring in CNN national correspondent Bryn Gingras. She is there for us, and she was there listening to the press conference. Bryn, a lot of information here. What more did you learn? What more else should we take away from this?
Yeah, Rahel, first I just want to get out of the way so we can zoom in, because you can actually see from our vantage point past those people and the crane there in the middle of 10th Avenue here in New York City. Now, listen, I have to be honest, it was a little difficult to hear what was going on in that press conference, but I did talk to a lot of workers here that were actually on the same floor as where this crane was operating. I kind of want to give you some detail of what they were telling me. Essentially, one of the workers, as you just heard officials describe, said that the crane was bringing up just heavy concrete that was needing to be poured on this high-rise as they continue construction, when they believe there was some sort of mechanical fire. And this person describes it to me as they saw the cab of the crane start to smoke and actually fill up with smoke. And Frank, you can go up and show where that crane did collapse. They said the cab started to smoke, it filled up with smoke, and he said once he saw the crane operator evacuate that cab, that's when he knew it was not a good sign. So he said that's when the building started to quickly evacuate of all those workers who are now all standing on the streets here around me. And one of the workers described to me that actually as they were trying to escape that building, they could feel the rumble of that crane swinging, as you see in that dramatic video, hitting that opposite side building and then eventually collapsing. And I was told again from these workers that because there are spotters on the ground, they were able to get everyone out of the way. And that may be actually what helped prevent so many injuries on the ground after this crane collapse. And you heard from the mayor, you heard from those officials that this could have been a lot worse. So it does seem that 5 people were injured, including some firefighters responding here to the scene. It doesn't sound like there were any violations with this construction that was going on at this particular building, but certainly there's a lot of questions about what went wrong. It does appear to the workers, though, it was some sort of mechanical issue as they were loading that heavy concrete to bring up to one of those top floors where this crane was operating.